of the great danger of worshiping other than Allah. There is none greater.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful, I greet you, my dear viewers, in our Islamic way. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be with you all. One of the most striking phenomenon of our time is lightning and thunder. And scientists wondered all the time, what's the main cause of lightning and thunder? And many theories have been put forward until scientists came to understand that lightning is a process of electrical discharge between two clouds or two different levels within the same cloud. And as a result of this electric discharge, a great blow in the atmosphere takes place, which is known as thunder. And we can see the lightning long before we can hear the thunder due to the much greater speed of light than the speed of sound. And the question was still there, where do these clouds get their electrical charges? And no answer was found to explain this phenomenon. Until very recently, only a few decades ago, scientists came to realize that these electrical charges are actually produced by water. Water, this magnificent fluid, has got very many peculiar characteristics, very many specific characteristics that would distinguish it from any other fluid we know of. Water releases electrical charges on changing from one form to another, from one state to another. So if you evaporate water, water releases electricity. If you condense water, it releases electricity. If you solidify water by freezing, it releases electricity. So one of the distinguishing characteristics of water is that this wonderful fluid releases energy once you change its form, its state of existence, solid, liquid, or gas. Also, scientists came to understand that lightning and thunder only come from particular types of clouds, very recently discovered and described as cumulus clouds. And these cumulus clouds are distinguished from the stratiform clouds. Stratiform clouds actually form nearer the Earth's surface, in lower levels in the atmosphere, and they are in the form of layers. And these layers can drop rain, but they cannot form thunder or lightning. And by analysis, we found that thunder and analysis are only produced in cumulus clouds. Cumulus clouds are formed by warm air rising from the ground and carrying these clouds higher in the atmosphere. And once it cools, it throws its load on the two sides. It becomes like a fountain, like a volcanic vent, like a volcanic cone. It accumulates the clouds on both sides. And as a result, it forms into the shape of a mountainous chain. And once these clouds are condensed on top of each other, they start to freeze the water. Being in much cooler environment, water starts to freeze and to produce hail. And on changing water from the liquid form to the solid form, electricity is released. And that's why lightning and thunder only take place in cumulus clouds. They never take place in stratiform clouds. Hail is only formed in cumulus clouds. Hail never forms in stratiform clouds. And once the water changes, or part of the water changes from the liquid state to the solid state, an immense quantity of electricity is generated in the cloud. And as a result of this immense quantity of electricity, this charging can take place or start taking place between positive charges and negative charges. And as a result of this, we see lightning, we see thunder, and we see hail coming down from these high level clouds in the form of chains of mountains, as beautifully described in the glorious Qur'an. We read in Surah Al-Rum, chapter number 30, verse number 24, which reads, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ يُرِيكُمُ الْبَرْقَ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا وَيُنَزِّلُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً فَيُحْيِي بِهِ الْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ مَوْتِهَا إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْقِلُونَ. And among his signs, the signs of Allah, all glory be to him, is that he shows you the lightning for fear and for hope. For fear, because lightning can be very disastrous. It can cause death. It can cause blindness. It can cause fire. Really, in buildings, in storehouses, in fields. So lighting can be a threat, can be a natural disaster. And at the same time, it can be a bounty from the bounties of Allah, because it is accompanied by heavy rain that is sometimes badly needed for dry areas. And that's why the verse reads, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ يُرِيكُمُ الْبَرْقَ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا. And among signs of Allah is that he shows you the lightning for fear and for hope. And he sends down rain from the sky, and with it revives the earth after its death. From that rain, the earth starts to revive alive. Verily, in that are signs for those who can reason things wisely. And we can see here an indication about the link between rain and lightning, a link between the fact that some kinds of rain can be associated with lightning, not all types of rain. Also, we read in Surah An-Nur, chapter number 24, verse number 43, ألم تر أن الله يزجي سحابا ثم يؤلف بينه ثم يجعله ركاما فترى الودق يخرج من خلاله وينزل من السماء من جبال فيها من برد فيصيب به من يشاء ويصرفه عمن يشاء يكاد سنا برقه يذهب بالأبصار. Do not you see that Allah makes the clouds move gently, then joins them together, then makes them into a heap. Then you will see rain issuing forth from their midst. And he, meaning Allah, or glory be to him, sends down from the sky mountain masses of clouds, wherein is hail. He strikes therewith whom he pleases, and he turns it away from whom he pleases. The vivid flash of its lightning will nigh blinds the sight. And here we can see a number of scientific facts unknown before and only revealed to man in the last few decades. ألم ترى أن الله يزجي سحابا, a description for the process of formation of cumulative clouds. Allah gently draws the clouds. ثم يؤلف بينهم. And then Allah will make these clouds join together by this process of cumulation. ثم يجعله ركاما. He makes it by a process of periodic accumulation a great heap of clouds. فترى الودق يخرج من خلاله. Then you see the rain coming from within it. وينزل من السماء من جبال فيها من برد. And then he will drop from clouds that take the shape of mountainous chains in the sky. And in these mountains of clouds, only hail can exist. And I think we have to come to a short break. And until we meet after that short break, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be with you all.
Peace TV presents over 100 million viewers at one of the largest peace conferences in the world, addressing a sea of spellbound spectators. Over 30 world-renowned orators on Islam with credentials impeccable.
The truth of Islam.
Deen is your way of life.
It is our duty, our obligation.
By following the Qur'an and Sunnah,
we will give the message to one and all.
With articulation exquisite.
Read the book of Allah.
Islam is the easy way. It's the simple way.
Remind each other.
The Muslim is not a source of harm for other people.
Collaborate with the people for good.
This is the call of Islam.
With the mission of spreading the truth of Islam.
Do what you can to spread the word of Islam.
Wherever we are.
live like Muslims.
Use your power.
Allah is saying, why do you need anything else? This Qur'an is self-sufficient.
The only book on the face of the globe, the Qur'an. How a human being should lead his life is given in this instruction manual, the glorious Qur'an.
For peace to prevail on earth in Peacemakers. Tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 1 p.m. India on Peace TV.
Most countries of the world ban bullying. They fight it in their schools and universities. A lot of us are being bullied differently every single day. Some come up to us and say, do this, while others say, don't you dare. Some say this is halal, while others say, nope, this is haram. Are you confused? Do you feel lost? Join me in Umdat al-Ahkam, where with the grace of Allah, we will learn the proper knowledge from the Qur'an and from the Sunnah, which would help stop this kind of bullying.
Join Asim Al-Hakim in Umdatul Ahkam every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 11:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 6 a.m. India on Peace TV. Dialogue. Discussion. Debate. Rebuttal. Conclusion.
Eliminate misconceptions about religion. Get enlightened.
Witness Dr. Zakir Naik in a battle of words in Crossfire, next on Peace TV.
Coming from this short break, I greet you, my dear audience, once more in our Islamic way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be with you all. We were discussing the fact that the glorious Qur'an was the very first source of knowledge about the fact that hail, lightning, and thunder are only produced in a particular type of cloud recently discovered and named cumulus clouds. And this cumulus cloud actually formed higher in our atmosphere than the level of formation of the stratiform cloud. And strangely enough, the glorious Qur'an, a book revealed more than 14 centuries ago to an unlettered prophet in an unlettered society, speaks about two very distinguished descriptions of clouds stratiform clouds and cumulus clouds, which only came to our notice in the 20th century. The verse we were discussing before the break reads, أَلَمْ تَرَ أَنَّ اللَّهَ يُزْجِي سَحَابًا. Having you seen that Allah gently pushes the cloud. ثُمَّ يُؤَلِّفُ بَيْنَهُمْ. Then Allah will make that cloud mix together. ثُمَّ يَجْعَلُهُ رُكَامًا. Then will make this cloud to accumulate on both sides of a rising flow of clouds. فَتَرَى الْوَدْقَ يَخْرُجُ مِنْ خِلَالِهِ. Then you will see the rain coming from within these clouds. وَيُنَزِّلُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِنْ جِبَالٍ فِيهَا مِنْ بَرَدٍ. And then these clouds will take the shape of chains of mountains due to this process of cumulation, this process of accumulation. And these mountains of clouds were only seen after flight with aeroplanes or with other means of flight to such higher levels in the sky. And for the Qur'an to describe these clouds as mountainous chains of clouds is a miracle by itself. من جبال فيها من برد. And say that hail is in these mountainous chains of clouds. And science comes to tell us today that hail can only be formed in such clouds, the cumulus clouds. فَيُصِيبُ بِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. Allah will give it as a bounty to whomever He wills. وَيَصْرِفُهُ عَمَّن يَشَاءُ. And would deprive others from it. يَكَادُ سَنَا بَرْقِهِ يَذْهَبُ بِالْأَبْصَارِ. And here the flashing of its lightning can easily take the sights of people away. And the flashing of the lightning is referred to hail. And as we said earlier, that only very recently scientists came to discover that water, and only water, is a fluid that releases energy or changing its status from fluid to solid or from solid to gas. And referring the lightning to the hail is a scientific precedence by the Qur'an that was only discovered by man in the last decades of the 20th century. And by mentioning it here in this verse is a living testimony that this book cannot be the work of man. It's the divine word in its divine purity. And finally, at the end of the verse, we read, يَكَادُ سَنَا بَرْقِهِ يَذْهَبُ بِالْأَبْصَارِ. This lightning, if watched without protection, can easily take the sight of the watcher. And there are many incidents in the history of man of human beings losing their eyesight by looking at lightning without protection. And only very recently we came to realize that lightning can burn the retina completely of the eye and can make anybody who looks at it without protection lose his or her eyesight. We also read in Surah Al-Ra'd, chapter number 13, the verse reads, هو الذي يريكه البرق خوفا وطمعا وينشئ السحاب الثقال. Allah is the one who shows you the lightning by way both of fear and of hope. It is He who does raise up the clouds heavy with. Here we see that this verse tells us clearly that lightning is only produced by the will of Allah, all glory be to Him. And this lightning is used as a means of making people fear Allah and stop transgressing His limits and stop their aggressions against each other, and at the same time can be a sign for seeking the pleasure of Allah by what accompanies it with plenty of rain. And this rain, of course, can be a source of wonderful life on the surface of that planet. هو الذي يريكه البرق خوفا وطمعا وينشئ السحاب الثقال. And He initiates these heavy clouds, and the description heavy clouds is a proper description for cumulative clouds because they are actually heavy clouds. They are very thick clouds. They are much thicker than the stratiform clouds that form near the earth. وينشئ السحاب الثقال. And he initiates these heavy clouds. So these heavy clouds are initiated by the will of Allah. All glory be to him. No man has got a role in that at all. وينشئ السحاب الثقال. And it is these heavy clouds that contain hail. In these heavy clouds, lightning and thunder can take place. These heavy clouds that are usually associated with heavy rain, which makes life on the surface of that planet possible. So in 3 separate Quranic verses, the Quran establishes a fact only revealed to man in the last few decades of the 20th century, that lightning and thunder are produced as a result of formation of hail in certain types of clouds, which the Quran describes as the heavy clouds. Actually, the process of classification of clouds is a novelty to the human knowledge. The main 2 types of clouds are stratiform clouds, and these stratiform clouds are closer to the Earth's surface. They never have any thunder or any lightning. They do not have any hail. Thunder and lightning and hail are only produced in much higher clouds, and these much higher clouds are formed by a process of cumulation, process of heaping up the clouds one on top of the other, and that's why the Quran describes them as heavy clouds or cumulative clouds, as they are scientifically known. And in these highly cumulated clouds at much higher elevations in the atmosphere form in a pattern similar to mountainous chains with high peaks and low valleys. And in these high peaks, we have hail formed in abundance. And on the change of water to hail, on change of water from the liquid form to the solid form, electricity is generated. And this electricity are either positive electricity or negative electricity. And this 2 different types of electricity can discharge each other, producing lightning, and are usually associated with thunder as a result of the great heat generated from that discharge and the sudden expansion of the air in the outer space. So the description of the association of thunder, lightning, and hail formation in cumulative clouds were only known to man in the last few decades of the 20th century, and for the glorious Quran to spell this fact out more than 14 centuries ago is a living witness that the Quran cannot be the work of man. It is the divine word in its divine purity, and it also testifies to the correct prophethood of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And once again, I dare say that these cosmic verses are the right language of our time. It's the language everybody on the surface of that planet can now understand and can be convinced with, because we are living in an era of scientific and technological advancements unparalleled in human history before. And that's why people of our time usually ask for the scientific proof for any argument you raise up with them. And hence our attempt to drive the attention of living Muslims to take good care of these cosmic verses in the glorious Quran, because they can be a useful tool to establish Muslims on their faith in the era of turmoil we are living in. And at the same time, these cosmic verses can be addressed to non-Muslims to convince them with the fact that the glorious Quran is the only form of divine guidance within the hands of man today that has been kept intact in exactly its language of revelation, the Arabic language, preserved by the will of Allah, word to word and letter to letter. And until we meet again in a coming episode, I thank you for listening and greet you in our Islamic way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, mercy and blessings be with you all.